that struck me when I went to uh, science of consciousness conferences and related events. There is this community of people which used pulsed light and sounds like binaural sounds and so on to induce trance states. It's basically flashing patterns. You lay down, you have these glasses on that insulate you from ambient light, and then they produce light with certain frequencies and arrangements. And your visual cortex is supposed to get entrained with it until you have certain experiences. And then I thought, oh my God, what if we use structured light? Light that is not just pulsing in a certain frequency, but this is using much more detailed structure and trains itself with the patterns of your visual cortex, and then goes into the rest of your brain and induces a trance state in which you experience an alternate reality. And this technology exists. It's called movies. And it's also addictive, right? There's an entire industry that is focused on producing 1.5 hour trips that are completely optimized for the ride that people are going through. And the same trip gets boring, so people need a new trip, like every month at least. And let's make them, right? It's really an entire industry that it produces trips using structured light that entrains itself with the visual cortex to produce a trance state that produces almost arbitrary experiences and insights and epiphanies and right in the human mind. This is the closest that you can get. What this thing is not doing is it's not directly affecting you at a level of experience where the self is being constructed. It's possible. So there are some movies which go deeper into trance. Koenigsegg I think was the first one that I saw in this regard as a child, or as a 15-year-old. And most movies do this in a slightly less direct way. So there is a way in which you're allowed to disentangle yourself from the movie and sandbox the experience. But it's arguably not entirely the case, for instance, for horror movies, which are a genre that has been designed to make it hard for you to disentangle yourself from it, right? It's about manipulating the experience itself, I suspect, and experiencing this detachment from the outside reality and being thrown in an alternate one that is intense enough for you to not be able to escape it. And now we also have VR. But VR is arguably still somewhat of a novelty, and it's in its infancy. It's good enough now. If you use a Quest, it's easily catapulting most people into an alternate reality that they can no longer sandbox. So when you are balancing on some cliff in VR, it's very hard to escape the sensation that you're indeed looking down at an intense abyss that is going to crush you if you lose your footing.